Tuition rises at UNM, and so does men's soccer.
Dreamers on campus and dreaming of next year's Boston Marathon.
I'm Mariam Ajala.
And I'm Michelle Piper. These stories and more on UNM News.
UNM has implemented the 15 credit hour tuition plan to encourage students to graduate in fewer years. Beginning this semester, the plan requires students to take a minimum of 15 credit hours per semester to avoid an extra tuition charge. Rachael Rivera reports on some students are upset by the new plan.
At the beginning of the fall 2013 semester, UNM implemented a new rule requiring all students to take a minimum of 15 credit hours per semester. If they didn't, they'd face being charged extra fees and tuition. The president of ASUNM, Isaac Romero, has been focusing on the lottery this semester. He has a few things to say about the new tuition plan.
There should be some exceptions built into this rule. Such as students that with disabilities. There are some students that by law are not allowed to take more than 12 credit hours, and so by nature they should not have to pay the additional cost because of something that they legally cannot do. And then other students that are part-time, it might affect them a little bit more, I'd say non-traditional students would be affected.
In an email from Terry Babbitt, Associate Vice President of Enrollment Management, the university has seen a huge increase in credit hours taken by students. This initiative incentivizes the economic argument even more by making it slightly cheaper to take 15 to 18 hours than 12 hours. The impact has been dramatic, with over a 20% increase in students taking 15 credit hours. The Bursars Online shows a breakdown of tuition. A student taking 1 to 14 credit hours will be charged $285.20 per hour, compared to $214.89 for students taking over 15 credit hours. This is over a $70 difference per credit hour, which totals to about $600 more for students taking under 15 credit hours. Some students express their concerns and opinions. Jacqueline Page, a UNM junior, says that if she gets accepted for the prestigious Fred Harris Award, which is only worth 12 hours, she may not go if the university penalizes her.
Because I'm a good student, I always try to keep my grades super high. I've been trying to get into this internship program ever since I was a freshman, and now I may not be able to go only because I may have to pay more.
Page says that the system should be changed where students shouldn't have to graduate on a 4-year plan.
And now that's not right to put somebody in that situation, being like, oh, we're going to penalize you if you take under 15 credit hours, and just say it's for their benefit. So I think it may be more reasonable for the university to have a 5 to 6 year graduation plan.
According to a mass email that was sent to students earlier this semester by the Office of the Registrar, the new rule says that now, with costs rising everywhere around us and recent tuition changes, the tuition rate for 15 to 18 credit hours at UNM is a better bargain. Despite an official statement from the registrar that says the plan will be beneficial, students continue to question its effectiveness. International Business Marketing undergrad Janae Milligan Carrion says that the officials who implemented the plan are disconnected from the students.
I just do feel as though they're too disconnected, and they need to kind of come back and remember where we're coming from, and really they need to get more of a voice from the students and say, is this really going to be something that's going to work? Because in reality, I don't think it is.
The plan, which will take 4 years to see real change, affects all students at UNM despite their background.
Because we do serve a large population of non-traditional students and students that have those, that need those exceptions and need that support, I guess. And I think that it would be a good opportunity for the university to provide that support.
The plan, which encourages students to take at least 15 credit hours a semester, was originally implemented by UNM in an effort to compete nationally in 4-year graduation rates, after it is ranked 181st out of 200 colleges nationally. This is Rachael Rivera reporting.
Immigration reform is faltering. So this fall, immigrants, families, workers, and civil rights supporters got together to call on Congress to pass comprehensive immigration reform. On the National Day for Dignity and Respect, or Marcha Dignidad, took place in over 40 states around the country. And of course, New Mexico was a part of it. Bárbara Gómez has the story.
On October 26, the New Mexico Faith Coalition for Immigrant Justice organized a panel discussion where young immigrants and their parents described the challenges of being undocumented. The discussion took place after viewing the documentary Dying to Live, A Migrant's Journey. Program Director of the New Mexico Faith Coalition for Immigrant Justice, Justin Tamer, said that having a discussion with immigrants to New Mexico is key to educate local citizens.
Having the stories of individuals, both dreamers and parents and folks who are undocumented and others who are not, as a way of being able to connect and hear what is the reality, ask some questions, and have a space where we're starting to create more dialogue.
Adriana Ortiz, a UNM student majoring in intercultural communication, also shared her experience as a young immigrant.
I find myself having an identity struggle as an undocumented immigrant because I don't feel completely Mexican, nor do I feel American, so my whole life has been an identity struggle, and my whole life has been a battle of trying to find out who I am.
Natalia Aranda, a CNM student who came to the U.S. at the age of 12, said that she still remembers how it felt to cross the border.
And seeing this huge wall, it was, I can't even, up until that point I had never seen anything that, a structure that big in my life that separated two countries.
Sarah Schwartz, one of the 71 guests of the event, said that watching the documentary and discussion panel helped her have a better understanding of immigrants in the U.S.
I think a lot of people don't realize, how dangerous it is, and how difficult, and what people go through to actually get into the country.
Ortiz hoped that the panel discussion helped reduce prejudice against immigrants.
We're a community that has all these stereotypes and it has all of these myths, and it's very important to just tell people we're humans overall, and this is our journey, and this is why we migrate.
The young immigrants and their parents, along with members of the New Mexico Faith Coalition for Immigrant Justice, said that they will continue to promote immigrant values and rights. This is Bárbara Gómez reporting.
Writing for the Daily Lobo may be a great way for students to get their foot into the world of journalism. But is the workload proving too tedious for student employees?
News editor Ardy Napolitan has been working for the Daily Lobo for over a year. He notes that it is really fast-paced and says some people could crumble under the workload.
It's stressful. It's really stressful. Some days it's really slow, but most days you just have to run from one interview into another and then go to your class and go to another interview. Then there's going to be a fire or something breaking and then you have to go there.
Editors say the life of a journalist leaves no social time or free time to themselves. They hope that the lifestyle will grow on journalists through time. Ardy Napolitan.
I don't really know how I survive. I think I don't even sleep that much anymore, but I think if you've been doing, because I've been doing journalistic stuff for like 3 years now, so if you've been doing it that long, I guess you start to just know how to cope with it, and your body just knows that, oh, hey, you're not going to get some sleep tonight, it's fine. And then you just learn to deal with it.
Assistant photo editor Sergio Hernandez says dealing with staffing and getting work out to his photography staff is the most challenging aspect of his work. He has to manage 7 to 10 stories a week.
Sometimes you come in thinking you have 0 assignments for the next day, and 2 assignments need to be shot on the spot, at that moment, and you have 2 stories for the next day.
Hernandez says the work is a good experience, but he's lost all his leisure time to the world of journalism.
Don't sleep much. And I don't know how to put it. I'm here on campus from 9 until midnight every day. How I cope with it, I don't know how I do it. It's really difficult. It's hard work. A lot of my personal life has has struggled a bit just because I'm taking a lot of art studio classes, and those take a lot of time too. But yeah, my weekends consist of work and school. I mostly do a lot of schoolwork over the weekends, and that's how I catch up on my schoolwork. And then during the week, it's mostly daily Lobo stuff.
Working in journalism may be a great way to boost student skills while learning the craft, but it is still unclear how the lack of sleep and workload is affecting students' concentration overall. This is Mariam Ajala reporting.
This has been another heady fall for UNM men's soccer. They are advancing to the NCAA quarterfinals after a 2-0 win over Penn State. This is the best UNM's perennial ranked soccer team has done since 2005, when it lost in the championship game.
Lobo Sports and the Mountain West Conference have teamed to provide some great internships for Lobo sports enthusiasts. Lynea Gonzales has the story.
Director and producer of Lobo TV, Frank Yost, says that this year the Mountain West Conference asked its schools to broadcast all the home sports events live.
Opportunity for all the Mountain West institutions to promote their sports and their student athletes by digitally broadcasting all of their home events.
In order to accomplish this, the University of New Mexico has asked its students to get involved.
We've been very fortunate to get some great student volunteers, and that's really alleviated a lot of the stress.
With a staff of about 20, the University of New Mexico has managed to broadcast each and every home soccer, volleyball, and football game. And Lobo fans aren't the only beneficiaries.
When a young man from the soccer team tells you his mom is watching back in Costa Rica and she just wanted to say thank you for putting on a broadcast, I think, that's something really cool that not everyone gets to hear every day.
Student volunteers such as Isabel Gonzales are getting a lot out of it too.
I'm majoring with IFBM in communication and journalism with multimedia concentration, so this really fits in.
Yost says UNM and the Mountain West Conference are impressed with the amount and quality of telecasts done by the Lobos.
I'd say University of New Mexico is, if not the top, one of the top 2 or 3 institutions in the conference that is achieving a high level of production.
For students, being part of such a successful live broadcast is not only exciting, but also motivating.
So our students do everything. We're very fortunate that they have the desire to want to not just be a camera person, but they want to direct, they want to produce, they want to be a broadcaster.
These broadcasts are a great way to share Lobo sports from Albuquerque all the way to Costa Rica. The games are on mwc.com. I'm Lynea Gonzales.
The athletic training program at the University of New Mexico is planning to be on the sidelines of the Boston Marathon in 2014. Students in the ATEP program are coming up with different ways to raise money for the trip in light of last year's attacks at the historic event. The athletic training program has been given the opportunity to work the sidelines at the Boston Marathon this spring, and the students are very excited about this opportunity.
A level 4 student by the name of Megan Kelly who presented the idea to Dr. McGowan, our clinical coordinator, and she just presented the opportunity to our class, and we all jumped on it, ready to work the event.
Having the opportunity to go and work with people that I've never met before sounds like an amazing opportunity.
Figuring what actually we have to do for everything, and it's a big process. So
the students are all raising their own money individually. Most of them are looking for sponsors, but others have more original ways of raising money. For the trip, the students have to pay $1,000 each.
And I think we're just going to put jars around the community, see if we can just raise simple money at restaurants. And then I'm asking also for sponsorships from restaurants and maybe as the mayor.
I actually work at Chili's, so what we're going to do is plan a give back event where people can go into Chili's and say the organization that they're helping out, and what Chili's will do is donate 15% of all profits to our organization.
Pretty much taking any opportunity we can get. We are working dog shows to the ATEP here at UNM. We're also going around and doing little fundraisers, asking companies to sponsor us, little things like that just here and there.
After the bombings at last year's marathon, students do have concerns in the back of their minds, but are looking forward to being able to help people.
There are some, but that's why we're out there. We're there to protect the people, and that's what we're going to do.
I think we're going in more prepared and coming in with more people, so I think we can deal with it better.
Training that I have gotten from going to my EMT class, as well as knowing how to eval injuries in a way that no one else can, would definitely help in that situation, as well as being just calm, cool, collective, and knowing that I am there to help, not there to run.
Although the marathon is not until April, students will continue to raise money to show their Lobo pride at Boston this spring. This is Michelle Piper reporting.
If you want to squeeze, if you don't want to squeeze, then I don't think I should be squeezing.
This studio has been part of the city for decades and is still succeeding in its mission. Our own William Aranda has the story on KNME Studios.
KNME Studios has been a part of Albuquerque for over 50 years. Its programming manages to inform us about what is happening in our community while helping out students in college.
So now we're kind of a hands-on type of classroom in addition to serving the general public of the state of New Mexico.
Randy Lance supervises the studio and is the main director for KNME. He's been with the station for the last 23 years after years of experience as a videographer.
Well, I got a degree in broadcast news documentary film, and I'd shot news for over a decade. And they had a documentary photographer position open up, so that's why I applied and came out here.
The studios have a helping hand in training UNM students who want to pursue a career in broadcast journalism.
Well, our student crew learns the basic operations of studio cameras. They learn how to do audio for television. They learn lighting. They learn technical directing and directing. Pretty much any of the production end of it they learn.
How did KNME start teaching college students about broadcast television?
When I first got here, the university didn't seem to really know how to use us. And when Franz showed up, he wanted us to be used more as a teaching part of the university.
I'm a big believer in public broadcasting, public television in particular. I'm quite passionate about its mission. I love the work that we do.
Franz Joachim is the general manager for KNME Studios. He started out in 1999 as a production manager. He says that KNME is a perfect learning environment for future journalists.
I make sure that this station provides the same opportunities to students here at the university that I had when I was going to college, to make sure that there are opportunities here both in terms of classes and in terms of jobs.
Unlike other local stations, KNME is not in competition.
We don't have a nightly newscast, and we're not quite as focused on ratings as the other stations are, because their revenue is based on how many viewers they have.
And so KNME is still doing what it had started out to do over 50 years ago. This is William Aranda reporting.
Underground music DJ Bert Benally has been spinning music for the last 20 years in Shiprock, New Mexico. Most people on the Navajo reservation know Benally as Cedro, as supporter of the underground music scene that has captivated the res. Natalia Jácquez has the story.
Shiprock, New Mexico set the stage for the 3rd annual Indie Electro Punk Rock Music Festival, featuring 21 native bands from across the Navajo reservation. Local DJ Cedro says it brings native musicians together.
We started a couple of months ago, and we just kind of networked with bands, and because we had been doing this a while, bands also contacted us, and we kind of made a lineup. We have over 21 bands in 3 days.
Lead singer for the Flossies, Kent Cowlady, says the new age music is inspiring young Navajos to produce music that can have a positive influence on their peers.
The community is getting into like this kind of music, like what's happening right now at this event. It's probably more positive than like say like a rap concert that would just bring in like negativity or like even games.
Young adults on the reservation have few outlets of expression.
It's nothing fancy. Like honestly, we're not like trying to impress anyone, but we have fun and it's kind of all we got, so we try not to ruin it for ourselves.
Benally says that the involvement of Navajo youth in music is a good thing.
I think it's a positive thing because they grow and they branch out and do other things.
Communities on the reservation may have no more than 500 inhabitants and be hundreds of miles apart. As such, many bands that gather for music events have formed a sort of camaraderie.
I mean, they don't know anybody in Albuquerque, Phoenix, or Denver, to Salt Lake to play their music. So they come to me and I give them the opportunity to show what they're doing in their bedrooms, and they enjoy that.
Benali says the reservation's underground music scene is changing.
It's just going to continue and branch out to other things, like all trends. It'll kind of burn out and something new will come up, and hopefully I'm young and youthful enough to see where that goes.
Before the end comes, Benali and his comrades just might be doing something good on the res. This is Natalia Jácquez reporting.
That's it for this edition of UNM News. I'm Michelle Piper.
And I'm Mariam Ajala. As we go out, we'll look at a fun video titled UNM at Night by Kyle Meyer and Amy Gibson. Together they're known as Cameo Productions and UNM alumni.